And welcome back to more of Mega Man X, where I am going to have to explain how I'm going to attack this boss order. And how I'm going to do this is that since you do have to have certain items and certain weapons before you can get all the items, I'm going to try and play for efficiency here. And I mean, everything with this game that can be done already has been done, so I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel or anything. Instead, I'm just going to go to Storm Eagle stage. And Storm Eagle stage takes place in an airfield there. And let's see, there is a lot of platforming in this stage. You do have to be aware of these yellow guys that like to pick you up and blow up on you. And then they end up hurting you if they do. To the right you can find some energy power-ups, but right now what we're going to do is go to the left and get ourselves a heart tank. Heart tanks are going to be used to expand your health meter. And you can get it about as big as the bosses have right now. So I'm just gonna keep going here. And Storm Eagle stage has a lot of platforming, and there is gonna be a horizontal section pretty soon. And let's see, all I have to do is just take care of this guy. And there's a thing you can do where you can dash and shoot at the same time, and then you can end up doing twice the damage. And I am going to try and show that off at the boss, but I did use that on those big electricity shooting guys. And right here is a sub-tank, and the way sub-tanks work in this game is that you have to use energy power-ups in order to fill them up, you know, kind of like a gas tank. And once you use it, you have to fill it up again, but you do get to keep it for the rest of the game. And the way sub-tanks have to be filled up can be a bit of a problem once we get to the final boss, but you know, I'll get to that when that time comes. Instead, all I'm doing now is just some horizontal platforming. Just make sure you keep a safe distance away from those flamethrowers. And see, what I'm going to do is blow up this propane tank. Or this might be a different kind of gas, who knows. But yeah, all I'm going to do is get myself an extra life. And you know how extra lives work, so I don't think I need to explain that to you. Then again, a lot of the people watching this have already played this game to death, so I don't really think I need to go too intensively into explaining how things work in this game. But with that, I found Dr. Light again. And he gives me the helmet upgrade, and basically all this is that I can just break ceiling blocks by jumping into them. And it does become useful in Sting Chameleon stage when the blocks don't hurt you when you have the helmet, but if you don't have the helmet they would hurt you. And let's see, we're almost up to the end of the stage here. I think all I'm going to try and do is just get this extra life. And I didn't need that. Kinda wanted to fill up my sub-tanks. And let's see, right here should be the end, and if you are playing this for a second time, you already beat the stage, that's where you would have gotten off, but right now what we're doing is getting to Storm Eagle's ship, better known as the Death Roggemer. And on a side note, if I ever own myself a ship, that's exactly what I'm calling it. But here we are at Storm Eagle, and this is a lot different from the traditional boss room. Instead, you have to blow up Storm Eagle's ship. And he comes down pretty mad at us. And let's see, he's gonna try and knock me off the ship, and the main way he does that is by either flapping his wings or using the Storm Tornado. And he can also dive at me. This is actually a lot trickier in Maverick Hunter X. But he does this for a random number of times. And you can always tell this by the sound cue. And now that he's done, either he's gonna spit his eagle out at me, or I guess spit his babies out at me like most eagle bosses, or he's just gonna get back to it. And let's see, this was one of the funnier moments during Super Gaming Brothers Let's Plays, and Largely just from Johnny swearing and screaming a lot at Storm Eagle while Elliot was just laughing his ass off the whole time. And for those of you who know why, it's on the brain scratch run. Oh, it's Storm Eagle down, we get the Storm Tornado, and this is one of the more useful weapons in this game. And I don't think Storm Eagle showed it off during the boss fight. But that's okay, because up next we're going to Flame Mammoth stage. And here in Flame Mammoth stage, it does take place in a factory, and let's see, because I beat Chill Penguin, there's a lot more ice and everything is frozen. And I will show off an extra part, like what everything looks like when you don't have the particular bosses beaten, in order to change the landscape of the stage. Let's see, I'm gonna go for the heart tank now, just because, you know, I feel like I might forget about it, and I don't feel like doing that. And let's see, I do need to backtrack here in order to try and get up to this power-up. This is going to be the X-Buster power-up, and I am not very good at this jump. And almost screwed it up there, but I did end up getting it. And also, if you don't get this power-up, when you get to the Sigma stages, Zero ends up giving you his Buster, so you can still end up getting this power-up. I mean, this power-up is mandatory, is what I meant to say. Because you either get it here, or you get it from Zero later on. And let's see, here are just a bunch of jerk-ass miners. And they just like to throw pickaxes at you. And the respawning can be a little bit tricky to deal with in this game. And especially in this part where it's pretty easy to respawn miners. Which I guess is useful if you're trying to grind up your sub-tank or something, but sometimes it's just a pain. And let's see, we have our second sub-tank here. So let's just go ahead and get that. So now we can carry a maximum of 4. And let's see, that's really all you need to know about the sub-tanks, because everything else I explained in Storm Eagle stage. And whenever you hear that different sound whenever you fill up the sub-tanks, that means one of your sub-tanks is full. And just a crusher part, no big deal. And this is a fun stage to speedrun at certain times. And the reason for that is you can just do a lot of crazy things in this stage. And see, the way I'm just dealing with these shield guys is that I'm just waiting for them to shoot and then get inside and then end up shooting them down. So with that, we are up to Flame Mammoth, so let's just go ahead and get this boss fight going. And this room's a lot bigger, and it has a conveyor belt much like Metal Man stage. And Flame Mammoth can do one of 3 things. He can either try and jump on you, Guts Man style, and then he can ground pound the floor, so if you are on the floor, you'd end up getting knocked down. And he can also change the direction of the conveyor belt, or he can let's see what else, shoot fire or shoot oil. And that actually went a lot quicker than I thought it would, but with that, Flame Mammoth is gone. And we have gotten ourselves our 3rd weapon in the game. And this time it's going to be the Fire Wave, and this is one of the more powerful weapons in this game. And I am actually going to end up abusing this a lot throughout this Let's Play. Now we got Flame Mammoth gone, I'm going to backtrack to Chill Penguin stage to get myself a heart tank. I'll just see you when I get to the appropriate spot. Alrighty, now that we're here at the right armor part, this is where you're going to need to get off here and use a Fire Wave to break this block. or break this storage thing, I guess, and get ourselves some more power-ups. And now that we got that, we can use the escape unit to get out of the stage. And that's our password. So with that, I am going to call the video, so join me next time as we take out some more Mavericks. I'll see you soon.